This pan-roasted Brussels sprout recipe is a great side dish for a large meal. It's simple, it can be prepped well ahead of time, and most importantly, it's exciting. Everyone loves it and they always want the recipe. So I thought I'd make a video about it. I'll also show you a trick that I use to keep them vibrant green, instead of that dull colour that they're famous for. So, first things first, I'm going to get these sprouts prepped. Here I have a kilo of all different size sprouts. I've got small ones, medium ones and large ones. In this recipe, I'll use a method to get these all cooked evenly. And spoiler alert, it's not the usual crisscross on the bottom. So I like to use a 3-bowl system for a lot of my veg prep. A commie chef's first December in a restaurant will be spent prepping sprouts for hours each day, all the way up till Christmas. So naturally, you quickly learn the best systems to work with. So I'm just taking off the base where it always looks dry, peeling off any of the outer leaves, then slicing the sprout in half. I prefer to slice my Brussels sprouts in half like this, instead of doing the traditional crisscross on the bottom, for a few reasons. The first is it helps them all to cook evenly no matter what size they are. The second is they cook a lot quicker. This helps keep their fresh flavour and that fresh vibrant green colour. And the third, this flat edge I'm creating with the cut is going to give me a great place to get plenty of caramelisation in the final cooking stage. If you're not comfortable using a knife in your hands like this, then you can just do the same process on the chopping board. It's a little slower, but it's a lot safer. Once they're prepped, I like to give them a dunk in some cold water to remove any dirt, but usually they're a pretty clean vegetable. Then over to the stovetop where I have a large pan of water boiling. I'm adding some salt, then straight in with the sprouts. Lid on, high heat, and I want to bring that pan back to a boil as quick as possible. The quicker this happens, the greener they'll be. I'm going to cook these for only 3 minutes. I want to keep that fresh flavour. Whilst they're cooking, I'm getting a bowl of cold water ready to refresh them and stop them from cooking. If you can add some ice as well, this will also help to retain as much of that vibrant green as possible. After 3 minutes in the pan, they're ready to come out, and straight into the ice water. Then I'm just going to let them chill for 10 minutes or so, and once they're cool, I'm going to drain them from the water. Next up, I'm going to make a dressing. So first, the zest of 1 orange. I love these MICROPLANE graters. I'd been through so many different brands over the years that didn't zest very well and, more annoyingly, were really hard to clean. But this one is super easy to use and even easier to clean. I've had it around 7 years and I've never looked back, and I reckon it'll do another 10 years at least. Now I'm just squeezing in the juice of that orange as well. Then 100 grams of dried cranberries, a 50ml shot of olive oil, around a teaspoon of picked thyme leaves, around a dessert spoon of honey, that for some reason I put into this little glass dish, and finally a little salt. Then I'm just stirring all of that together. A lot of recipes will use similar ingredients to this dressing, but they'll just add them straight to the Brussels sprouts in the cooking stage. But I like doing this as a dressing for a few reasons. The main one is it can be made ahead of time, instead of all of this happening in the moment. It's also rehydrating the cranberries, and it's giving the flavours a chance to mingle. Okay, so the last step is to toast the walnuts. I like toasting them to bring out their nutty flavour. It also helps to remove the bitterness that they can sometimes have. So I'm just going to lightly toast them over a medium to low heat. moving them regularly so they don't burn. So at this point in the recipe, I could store everything for a day or two. The Brussels sprouts and the dressing can go in the fridge, and the toasted walnuts can be stored in the cupboard. That's the three components of this recipe, but I'm going to finish everything now. So I'm putting my large frying pan back onto a high heat, grabbing my drained Brussels sprouts, adding them to a bowl with a little olive oil and some salt, and giving them a good mix so they're evenly coated. And over to the hot frying pan. Now, this next step some people will have the patience for, and some people won't. I'll explain both. To get the most flavour, I want to use that flat edge I've created on the sprout to the fullest. So I'm placing them one by one into the pan, flat side facing down. If you haven't got the patience for this, then you can just pour them into the pan. No worries. But you won't get the same depth in flavour, because it's the char on this flat edge that's going to give me the flavour I'm looking for. So don't be afraid to take them too far. Cooking them like this, it's really hard to burn them to the point where they're inedible and not nice to eat. So if such a thing as smell-o-vision existed, and you could smell what's happening in my kitchen right now, you would smell something just like a barbecue. I'm getting as much charring as I can on that Brussels sprouts. And it's this that I'm looking for. So now I'm adding the dressing, the toasted walnuts, and giving everything a good stir. I want to get the sprouts really well coated in that dressing. Using a spoon is fine, but the way I love is tossing the pan like this. If you can't do this pan tossing, then stay tuned to this channel, because I'm currently filming a video that will show you exactly how to learn how to do this fearlessly. Anyway, I'm just going to serve them into a dish to be put into the middle of the table. I love this recipe so much. It's quick, fresh, and most importantly, tasty. This bowl will get finished. I have no doubts about that. Also, having everything prepared, ready to go, the dressing mixed, the nuts toasted, and the sprouts blanched and cooled, makes this an easy, in-the-moment recipe to pull together. Go check this video out next for another way to make vegetables more exciting.